This is the equipment that is being provided to all of the farms that are part of the Farming Connect project. The large box in front of me with the aerials attached to it is the gateway itself. It's a bit like the wireless router that you have at home. However, it works on a different radio frequency, and as a result you can expect a range, depending on terrain, of about 7 to 15 miles across open countryside. To give you an idea of the scale, that's a 50p piece in the middle of it. It's quite a substantial bit of kit. It weighs a reasonable amount, and the antenna that we've got attached to this particular model, we've got two antennae at the bottom of the unit. That's for the mobile phone signal. The long pipe here coming off the top is for the LoRaWAN signal itself. That's the technology that's being used on this particular project. And this little dome here is the GPS antenna. All of the gateways have GPS built into them, just like your sat-nav or your mobile phone. Looking at the bottom of the unit, we have two things that are of interest here. The clear perspex covers where we would put the SIM card for the mobile phone connection, and the black bit there, that covers the network connection and the power cable, which provides power. So to talk about the power very briefly for a minute, with the kit will come a box that's similar to this. Most of them are actually small and black as opposed to this kind of size. They're about that kind of size, half the size of this. We've attached the power to one end, standard mains plug, and then at the other end we connect the output here to the gateway. That provides both power and connectivity, and then depending on how we're connecting it at your particular farm, we'll connect the data connection from here. We'll take another network cable and run that into the back of the broadband router if we're using that, or we'll leave it empty if we're using mobile phones, the mobile phone network for the data. The sensors that we're providing for this, we have a rather small, I'll get the 50p piece again so you can see the scale. This small black sensor here, this will monitor humidity, it will monitor temperature, and it will monitor light levels. This is not a waterproof unit. However, it does have some dust protection. So this is probably best suited to indoors, inside a shop, inside a barn where it's going to be tucked out of the way and not get too much dust or moisture on it, that kind of thing. But it can be quite useful for detecting things like, for example, if you were to put it into a polytunnel, you'd be able to get levels of the light, the humidity and the temperature inside that polytunnel, or a greenhouse even. Likewise, if you were to put it inside the shop, you'd be able to see what kind of light levels were going on inside the shop. From that, you can make all kinds of decisions about how you want to manage the shop, how you want to manage the produce, and indeed whether the light levels inside the shop are affecting the number of people, number of customers that you have in. Moving on then, we have something that looks a bit like a two-legged octopus. Both of these probes are temperature probes, and then the unit itself also monitors temperature and humidity. The use cases for this could be anything from monitoring the temperature of multiple milk vats on a dairy farm through to monitoring freezers in a farm shop for food hygiene regulations, that kind of thing. And the really nice thing is that because the unit itself monitors temperature as well as the two probes, you can do a differential between the external temperature and whatever the temperature is of where you've put the probes. Finally then, for some of the farms, there will be one of these sensors. These are distance sensors, and it literally measures how far something is from the front of the cone. We have seen this installed in places to monitor slurry. We've seen it monitor river levels and the amount of build-up of water in culverts and ditches and things like that. And there's been some success of using it to measure things like grain bins and stuff like that. So anyway, that's a brief overview of all of the equipment that we'll be shipping to the farms. And once we know what your requirements are, then we'll be able to come and install it for you.